Hello Taurus, and welcome to your monthly reading for Magical March, as I'm calling it, after funny February. I have done the collective reading. It probably will affect this reading to a certain extent. We'll go into it as we go. We're going to be going through your chakras, your aura, and finishing off with a tarot reading for this month. Let's just jump straight into your chakras and see what's going on with there. So here we have the root chakra. Nice and solid. There's a relationship side which is also very solid. And it's both of these root chakras are being healthily fed, let's put it that way. So there seems to be that whole idea of that last 3 months before your birthday, the autumn period, where you're sorting your foundation of your life out. You're examining things, re-examining them, seeing what you want to be doing the next year and that sort of thing. And that seems to be working really nicely. It seems to be pretty orderly. You seem to be on top of it. Really nice. Let's see what's going on with the sacrum. Okay, I've got to, because the sacrum is changing, and I did go into it in the overall reading. It seems to be nicely balanced between work and play ethic, basically. Doing what work you've got to do, and that could be work on yourself, physical work. It could also be your job, your business, and your projects, and that sort of thing, your acquisitions. On your relationship side, it also sort of seems harmonious. So there is a definite work-play ethic, which is pretty good in you at the moment, which is helping probably to sort out the sort of things you really want to be doing next year, the emotional experiences you want to be doing, the physical things and stuff like that. Let's just see what's going on for your solar plexus. I would so it's a little bit large, it's a little bit wide. I would be wary of overdoing things this month. I'd be wary of overdoing things this month. Trying to stretch yourself too much, putting too much on your plate. As I said, you've got, it's good time to reflect over the past year. And if you're putting too much on your plate, you can't really do that. And your solar plexus here is wide, so it's nice. It's a general sort of thing. It's good for socializing, connecting with other people in a very warm way. It could also be very good for relationships. That's personal relationships, one-to-one stuff. It's not so defined at the top, so it's a little bit sort of like it droops a little bit, and that could be sort of like, oh, I can't take this on. Rather than sort of saying, okay, I will do, get your fires going, I would more concentrate on your earth and sort of saying, look, what can I concentrate on doing correctly, and what is possible, basically, rather than what is not really possible. So I would just be wary of that this week, so you don't cause yourself too much trouble or strains. And this is it. The new chakras are going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how we do the readings in the future, because the changing is happening. Let's just see what's going on there. There's a sensation now of emotionally what you want out of life. It seems like you're on a good roll here. You've got good relationships going on. You've got good sentiments, sort of like feelings, and an emotional sort of side of life. That seems to be very sort of clear for you at the moment, which is really good. That's going to help you with any sort of relationships you might be having, and that could not only be a one-to-one relationship, but it could also be in regards to family, friends, and etc. There is a very social side, and I would be very social. I think that's a smart way of playing. I think this month here, you have to be smart, and a little bit on. It's I don't know if you've ever been sailing, but when you pull a sail, you pull it so it just gets tight enough, not too tight, so then you lose the power of the wind, and not too loose that the wind gets blown through. It's got to find that biting edge, as it were, of life. And that's what it seems like within the sort of socializing aspect of it all. Find that biting line of life, and that sort of because it's going to open doors for you within your material world, within your jobs, your business, and that. So networking, it's going to help with that aspect of life a lot more than if you're trying to push things or if you're not engaged at all, obviously. So it's finding that bite point, like on a car, the clutch on the car, for those who still drive manual cars. But yeah, it's like a clutch biting point that when you find it, it's going to be really good. And I think it's going to be a very sociable month. I think you're going to discover a lot of things about yourself. And you're also going to discover a lot of things about the world around you, which is going to clarify a lot of things within you and change your approach to the world that is around you, in the way in which you do things, the way in which you engage physically, but also emotionally and sort of materialistically as well. A real month of clarity, if anything, I'd say, for you. Let's just see what's going on in your third eye and your throat chakra. Yeah, I think this is where, I was talking about the solar plexus, and you've got to watch out so you don't tire yourself out. That bite point there is going to help life. The wind, if you take the sailing analogy again, the wind to help your boat or help your passage through life, rather than you having to fight against it with the tiller, with the rudder. And it's the overthinking of things, which we all can do, can sometimes be, can sometimes contribute to that bouts of tiredness within you, that almost, I can't do it, sort of scenario. There is also, but there's not also letting go. We're back to this biting point. I think this biting point for you is really important. It's not thinking too much, but not thinking too little. It's got to find that point where there's enough stimulation within you in order to get the best out of life. And rather than taking everything in without making any decisions, some decisions will have to be made. And as long as you've got this clear work play ethic that's running through you, through your sacrum, you should be all right. It's just a word of warning more than anything else. Apart from that, to be honest, your energy looks really good. Your chakras look really good, especially for the time of year that you find yourself. It looks absolutely brilliant, really. Let's just see what's going on in your crown chakra. So this has got this vase effect. So this vase effect is it goes in a real sort of like I'd say daffodil sort of shape-ish. It's like a trumpet, but it's open as well. So any emotions that do build up within your head, you should be able to just allow them to just flow away quite easily without having too much stress and strain upon yourself. You're really on fire. I think it's going to breed a good bit of confidence within you in regards to the changing world, or the realization that the world is not quite what we thought it was around you. And as that sort of changes within the environment, you're going to be in that comfortable position of knowing what you want, knowing how to get there, and what you need to do in order to get there. It seems to become very clear to you. I don't think it's a moment to start doing that. You might have that idea to, let's say you have an idea to start up a business, or buy a property or stuff like that. It may well be the moment to buy the property, yeah, but at the same time, it's probably not the moment to start attacking the physical work upon the place, if you've got to renovate it, for example. because I think you'll get tired out. That's where that work play ethic has really got to come into play. But at the same time, as long as you've got this moment of this sort of like this crossover point, this point of inversion between the negative and the positive in life, you're going to be able to make decisions reasonably quickly, but not too drastically, just to keep the things flowing forward towards your goals, towards your ambitions and stuff like that, because you're very ambitious, Taurus, and that's normal. So, getting those ambitions playing for you, I think, is a really good way, and not taking on too much in your consciousness in regards to the outside world. Allow the outside world to just drift away, if I was you. That's what it seems to play out in your crown chakra. But a really beautiful month creates a lot of confidence within yourself. So you'll feel it within the way you walk, within the way you sit down, within the way you're timing in things. It appears that your timing of life is a good thing. You have a good energy structure in order for it to really flow for you, which is going to provoke a lot of opportunities. And then the assessment comes in. I think it's going to be a little bit harder in April for you, Taurus. So the more you can set up now within you, you know where you're going and how you want it and what you've got to do in order to get that, before actually really going and physically doing that. I think April could be much more of a time where it's self-reflective on your emotions and stuff like that. So I think April will be a good time for you to take a time out. If you want to go on holiday, that's a good time for you to take the holiday, to go away for the weekend, to just mix it up a bit and that sort of thing. But in this month here, I think it's literally just using the elements that are around you in order to propel your boat forward towards your desires and your goals in life. And that could be on both your physical as much as your emotional and relationship side. Let's just see what's going on your aura. There's a multitude of understandings that's going on according to the world around us. Go and have a look at the collective reading if you want to understand that. And with that multitude of understandings means that our conscious is constantly evolving at this present time. And there seems to be a very strong lesson for you this month here. Let's just see if we can get some detail on it. It seems to be how you connect your very close relationships, that sort of one-to-one, your partner and stuff like that, with the world around you. And this could be family and friends, but it could also be sort of how it connects with work and networking with your work. And it's how you present as a couple, or if you're not in a couple, how you present yourself and how you connect to these sort of groups around you. It's very much on a face value in a way. So it's a case of being very friendly to everyone, but not not diving deep into situations where you may lose your footing. I would just be carry that purpose, that confidence into your networking and your socializing, where it's just a case of kind of going, oh, hi, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing great. How you doing? Fantastic. I heard you were working on something. How's that going? Oh, wow, I was thinking of doing something similar to that, or something that's maybe connected to that. Maybe we could work in the future. That'd be brilliant. Look, here's my card. Very, not getting into sort of kind of going, oh, right, so you got these problems and stuff like that, how can I help? And then start loading yourself with the other people's problems. That's not what you should be doing. This is not what the consciousness is trying to help you with. What it's trying to help you with is the idea of being there, being confident, and helping the wheels of change to actually process the change that we are all going through, and we are collectively going through, as I said on the collective reading. So yeah, absolutely, in the way of energy for an autumn period, that's really good. It looks really good for you, Taurus. So yeah, it's looking good. Let's just see what the cards are saying for you for this month here. So we're going to be doing 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and the 4th week, karmic path and the overall energies. So let's just see what's going on there. King of Wands. That feeds that fire at your base, actually. And this is what feeding that root chakra at the moment. It's like you know where you're going, basically. And when you know where you're going, you have that confidence with you. You know, you've overcome all fears or inner doubts, basically, because you're in front of that lion. You've got that courage now to just go ahead and do things and just be who you are. And it's going to be very beneficial, not only to you, but I think for everybody that is around you. You know, let's just see what that card definitely wants to come out with. It's going to come out on the karmic mission on your relationship sides. Yeah, okay, so normally the Four of Pentacles is holding on to too much. I also think there's a case of being wise in how you invest your time and money and space. And this comes back to that networking idea of how you actually engage with the people around you. It's giving enough, but not giving too much, not giving everything. So I think this is what, within your relationship sides, in your connection with people, I think this is how you need to sort of play it. Don't deep it, basically. Don't give away everything, as I was explaining earlier on in regards to your consciousness as well. Yeah, let's just see what's going on in the first week here. So there's a lot of wands for you, and you do have fire at your base, and this is putting in those healthy boundaries. I think in the first week in March, you're going to be in a situation where you know, people may be asking a lot of you. And it's realizing when they're asking too much. You know, it's all very well giving that, but if they're going to take the arm, you're going to be in trouble. So you know, it's giving someone an inch and they take a mile sort of scenario, as Bob Marley would say. I think that's obviously comes from another phrase that Bob Marley might have coined, but this is what it seems to be. Within this first week here, you're going to have a situation where you're going to realize where you need to put your healthy boundaries in regards to the world around you, and it's regards to your passion to the solar plexus as well. So you know, that works really well. Let's just see what's going on week 2. Yeah, here we go. So we're into that sort of self-analysis, working out what we want to do for the following year and stuff like that. So obviously the second week of March, you're going to have a situation where you're going to be able to see, I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. So you're going to be in a situation where you can see clearly, or you can observe things in a different way. And I think this comes through from the socializing aspect of it all, where you connect with people and it just sort of, without going in too deep, it's almost going to trigger ideas within you and kind of go, yeah, I didn't think of it like that. Maybe I could do that, you know, without even saying it. Just, this is the inner conversation that is within you. And the second week here seems to be like, you know, opening up new ways of looking at things. Okay. In regards to your relationships, and seeing, I think this is how you connect to the people that are around you. That's what it seems to be like. They connect to the people around you. We get the 3 of Cups. Socializing. Within your relationships here, this is connecting with other people that are around you. Yeah, it's exactly what we said. So by the 3rd week, I think you're going to get into your stride in regards to this sort of scenario, this sort of connection with the world around you. And when you do, this is when the enjoyment comes out, and this is where the confidence is coming to the fray. Okay, we'll do the 4th week and the overall outcome once we've done the financial sort of thing. But within the relationships, it doesn't, you know, Obviously, you may well meet the love of your life, but I don't think that's going to be for the majority of you. For the overall sort of understanding of what's happening for Taurus, it's more a case of being selective about your emotional connections and your socializing and your friends, family, community, even work colleagues and stuff like that. Just how you connect with people. So making sure that you're getting the best out of life, that it's fun, that it's good, honest connections with other people. Let's just see what's going on your financial side. So clear visions of where you want to be. I think, as I said, you do work hard. You're very ambitious as a sign, and that this is this month here. Your karmic mission is to get that clear vision. That's what it is for the coming year. Get it into place to you, so it's clear for you where you're going over the future. In the first week of it starts off really quite nice. I think where it starts off, it goes through a portal, so it's a bit of a celebration, but it's also going through the portal in the sense of going from a seed of an idea into a germinated seed. So kind of going, oh yeah, you might have thought I could do this particular type of business or this particular job. And in the first week, it's almost as if like there's the moment of how do I do this? What do I have to do in order to do that? That clarity seems to be coming into play here, which is going to be the overall leader confidence that you will have striding through you. Okay, the second week. Now, Three of Swords can mean separation, so it might mean the fact that you have realised this, and you might get a new job, for example, within the first week, or you might get the interview. You might get the opening of going from one job to another, or starting a business and stuff like that. And as you do, there's two scenarios here, because it's obviously we're talking about the material side of life and not the emotional relationship side of life. And here you've got to sort of maybe let go of goals and projects that you would have wanted to do in the past year and it didn't quite turn up, and you haven't really got the situation around you, and it's a bit disappointing for you that you didn't get to do that. But look at it as a boomerang. It will come back round in one form or another on your plate, and maybe this year is not the year for that, and it certainly is not this month. There is the other aspect of the Three of Swords as well, where you've got to take your emotions out of the situation. This is what I said about connecting with people, saying how you doing and everything like that. Oh, that sounds really interesting. I've got something that could couple with that. Here's my card. You're not getting emotionally tied up in the situation in the second week. You're almost going to be untouchable in a way, I want to say, but in a nice way that you're on the ball. That's what it seems to be like. It seems like the King of Wands. I really can't speak today. The King of Wands is going to come to the fore in your life at the moment in this month. 10 of Pentacles. I think by the third week of March, so we're getting into the start of Aries season here, springtime. I think in the third week of March here, I think this is going to be a very good week for you, very positive week for you. The job that you may have applied for or gone for an interview, that seems to be coming to fruition. If you're doing a business or project, that also seems to be getting a bit of grip on the situation. It's taking shape. Actually almost be giving you a few returns already, and looking very positive going forward. So it's a very productive month, and I would concentrate on that production and don't get too lost into what's going on. Let's just see what's going on. Here we go. What did I say? You got the strength is the strength card is that lion behind you. I'm taking two cards here, one for one side, one for the other. A Hierophant could be marriage. So you could well be getting into a relationship, moving in with someone, or even getting married. It's also about understanding of how you can have access to your happiness and your dreams and desires. On the financial side, this is where we got the strength card, and that's why we got the lion behind you. You have, by the end of the month, you're going to quell those doubts and fears about your projects or your business or anything like that. That's when the King of Wands is now striding off. It's that you're being that leader by the end of the month. So as we're coming into April, and as you are that leader, then that's when the momentum can then carry you through April without you having to push too hard. Let's just see if there's one sort of overall thing. Seven of Cups. I think this is where the evident path of what you should be doing and where you should be going seems to sort of congeal into a sense and a direction for you. I think it's a really, really good month for you, actually, Taurus. A very good month. The thing I think you need to concentrate on is that biting point. And that biting point, as I say, of when to push and when not to push. It's having that subtleness within you. And that subtleness, I think, comes out in the second week. And it's that learning process within your consciousness in that second week. If you gather that, you've got your healthy boundaries, you go forward. If you gather that, all of a sudden, by the third week, things are going to start falling into place, and you're going to be in a really happy place by the end of the month, which will set you up for that very easy April. There you go, Taurus. Thank you very much for being with us, sharing and liking and commenting on this reading. It'd be good to hear what it is from your side. Don't forget there is the collective reading, which is a completely off the wall. It is a collective reading. It's not an individual reading. It's really about the human race and our position here on the planet and how we connect with one another. Okay, so there you go, Taurus. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.